Hi everybody, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a blessed day. So I have a word for you guys today. This word comes from a dream I had on, kind of old. I have so many words to do. This one is from March 19th. And this was one of the first dreams I had when I went on a fast from like social media. And this dream right now, as I was reading it, the Lord led me to, right, because I was going through my journal and to see what he wanted me to release, and he highlighted this dream. And so I was reading it and I'm like, Lord, this already came to pass for me. Like half of it already came to pass. And so I'm like, is the second part about to come to pass? I'm like, we'll see. But oh Jesus. Okay, so let's get into it. This dream, I had a store. My face. Okay, I had a store. It was like a corner store, like a convenience store type, right? And I was there, and then I went to the restroom. Oh God. I went to the restroom, right? I was using the restroom, right? And while I was, the way my kids do it, when I ask them like, what are you doing? And they're like, doing my business. So while I was doing my business, Gia, one of my daughters, Gianna, right? I call her Gia. Gia, she ran out of the store onto like the street, like outside, right? And in the dream, she was like 2 or 3, right? So I'm in the restroom doing my business, and then my 2-year-old in the dream, 3 years old, she's older in real life, but in the dream she was 2 or 3, and she runs out of the store. And so I'm like, I run after her to get her, and then I catch her, and to her it was like a game, like she was laughing like haha, and I'm like, this isn't funny. You could get hurt, right? So I scoop her up, right? And then I realized guys, okay, I realized that I wasn't wearing any pants, right? Once I got her, right, I realized that I wasn't wearing any pants and that I was dirty. Like I didn't finish in the restroom, right? I didn't finish. And so I get my daughter, right, and then we go back inside. Because I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't be outside without pants and I'm all dirty, like, you know, like gross, like. And so I was like, oh my goodness. So we go back inside, and I want to set like get my daughter settled. I want to get her settled, right? And so once we come in the store, it was kind of connected to our house, so we go to like the bedroom. But as soon as, like, closely after we go back into the store, a man walks in also, like behind us, right? And I'm like, I freaked out. I was like, maybe he's a customer or something, but let me just get Gia settled, right? And I wanted to put her to bed. And so we go into the bedroom, and this man follows us all the way into the bedroom. And so in my mind, I'm like, that's odd. He's like, you know, and I don't know who he was. I don't know, like he was just like a blur. And I always tell God, I'm like, God, if this is my husband, let me see him. But he was just like a blur, right, in the dream. And so I couldn't make out like who he is. And so he's just standing there, and I'm putting Gia to bed, but the bed wasn't made. The bed, it was just the mattress and the and I have to say that this time, because I had a dream where I was trying to put a sheet on a mattress, right? And I couldn't, right? But then in this dream, it was like, and it was just a mattress. In the other dream, it was just a mattress. And, but in this dream, there was like a frame, there was a headboard. It was like a complete bed set, right? And the bed wasn't made, but everything was there to make it. Everything was there. So there were sheets and blankets and pillows. It was like the whole nine, right? And so I start making the bed, right? Because I'm like, I need to put my daughter to sleep. I need to put her to bed to make sure that she stays, that she's fine, right? And so I start making the bed, and I take my time doing it. And this man is just standing there watching, okay? I'm making the bed, I'm putting the sheets, I'm, the blankets, the pillows, the pillowcases, everything. I made the bed. And I even had blankets left over, like extra blankets, right? And so I fold them and I put them to the side, and then I get my daughter, right, and I put her to bed. I tuck her in bed, and there were even stuffed animals. So it wasn't just the stuff that was needed for the bed. It was like extra stuff. There was like stuffed animals, and so so I made the bed and I put Gia to sleep, and this man was just standing there watching me do this the whole time. And that was a dream. I woke up after I finished making the bed and I put my daughter to sleep. Then I woke up, right? Okay, so what is God saying with this, right? So first I was in a store connected to my home, like it was, and so the store represents God's provision where God is going to provide not just for myself or my household, but for others as well, where others can come in and get provision for themselves. So God in this season is getting ready to give you provision way beyond your needs. And he's doing this so that you can provide provision for, like, he's going to use you as a vessel for provision, to providing provision for others. Okay. And then me being in the restroom represents deliverance. Okay. And not just being in the restroom, but actually doing some business in there, right? That represents deliverance. It represents a cleansing. It represents just like a cleansing, a getting rid of wastes, right? Internally, God cares more about our inside than our external, right? But whatever he does internally reflects and ends up reflecting externally. So that's what that means. So I was experiencing a deliverance of some sort, and then my daughter runs out, and Gianna means God's grace. God's grace. And so I don't even care what condition I'm in, right? In the middle of a deliverance, and I run out after her, which is God's grace. During this this deliverance. Okay, thank you, Holy Spirit. He's giving me more revelation. So this is a season where God is doing a mighty work inside. He is cleansing you. He is getting rid of wastes and in you, right? And it's a hard season. It's a hard process. It's a hard season. And so much so that you feel that God is not for you. So much so that you are like, where are you, God? Like, what are you doing, right? You're questioning God a lot. You're seeking him for answers. And so much so that you're really going after him, especially during this this process of deliverance, because you feel that his grace has left you. And in a sense, it's like God's grace didn't leave you. God's grace was there, but you're just like, you want that closeness, especially during this time. And so you're running after God. As dirty as you are, even without pants, you are exposed and to the public, because you stepped outside of your home and your comfort, and you were exposed outside of your home in a very vulnerable state. You're going after God, and people are seeing this, that you're going after God in this vulnerable, like, exposed state, you know. And but you don't care. You don't care. As long as you have God, like, you don't care. You really don't. And so you're really taking care of your relationship with God, that intimacy with God, because you scooped up. I scooped up in the dream. I scooped up. I didn't just get her by the hand. I didn't just, like, no, I scooped her up like this. Like, I'm like, you know, I scooped her up, and I was like, I'm going to put you to bed. And bed represents a place of intimacy, right? A place of closeness, a place of rest. And so you don't even care of your state of being exposed and being vulnerable. You don't even care. Your focus right now is God, and being close with God, and being intimate with God. And you're even making the bed that place of comfort. Like, you have all this stuff and all of this provision, but your main focus is having God, is being close to God, is meeting with God in that secret place, and being intimate with God, and making sure that everything with God, that you are good with God. Even though when you're not, like, because you were like dirty and you didn't even finish your deliverance, you ran after God. In whatever state you're in, you're just going after God. And so you're really nurturing that relationship with God, where others may fall off during that state, that season of deliverance, or of exposing, or of vulnerability, where others are like, oh my gosh, you know, like, you're just wanting God even more. You're wanting his grace even more. And somebody's looking on. Somebody's looking on. The moment you stepped outside to go after God in your vulnerable state, that caught somebody's eye, and they're following you. They're following you. They're just like being drawn in some way, where you think that this process you're going through is gonna push people away. It's actually it caught the eye of somebody, and it's drawing them in, and they want to be in that intimate place with you. They walked all the way into the bedroom, and they watched you, or me, right? But it's for you guys too. They watched me just make the bed, and me like get God's grace and take care of it, and nurture it, and tuck it in, and like make sure that it was safe and secure, and it was just that place of intimacy with God. And this person is just standing by, watching, not saying anything, but this person is watching. I feel Holy Spirit. Oh God, thank you. Yeah. So in those moments, in those times where you feel that you might be alone, you're not. God has sent me here today to tell somebody you're not alone. You're not. And this person watching could be more than one person. It could be a group. It could be, I don't know. It could be, I don't know, but it just represents people just looking on at how you're handling this, and looking on, and just seeing, admiring your relationship with God and your intimacy with God. Yeah. Wow. This is even speaking to me right now. But yeah, it's drawing the right people. I know that sometimes when you're going through things, it's like people tend to step back, but that's what God is doing. That's part of the deliverance. That's part of the cleansing. That during these times, it's like you really find out who is for you and who is not for you. God is showing you people's hearts, who is for you and who is not for you. He's showing you this. So take note right now who is there and who isn't. It's very important to know this. And because right before God elevates, not everybody can go with you, and not everybody should. And so that's why he shows you the hearts before, because when he elevates you, oh, now everybody wants to come. Oh, now everybody's your friend. Or now everybody's reaching out to you. But God shows you before. God will humble. God will expose. Not only that's the cleansing that he's doing, right? It's of the people. He's showing you hearts and things that you need to let go of, because they're not gonna have the right intentions in the next season. Wherever he's taking you, wherever he's elevating you, because with God it's always elevation. Wherever he's taking you, everybody's gonna be like, oh, you know, and God is like, I already showed you their heart last season. So God always exposes who is for you, who is not for you. He reveals hearts, so that you know who to trust going into the next season. And so that's what he's doing. And so he's drawing the right people in, and he's removing whoever needs to go. Whoever needs to go. So just take note, or keep these people. Maybe you don't have to cut them off completely, but make that mental note, you know, and just know, okay, I know, start just putting a little bit of distance to be cautious of like, okay, no, I can't fully trust this person, or I can only trust them with like certain things and not this anymore. Like God is showing you right now. But the right people who genuinely care, those people are taking notice of you right now and how you're handling what you're going through right now in the hard seasons. It's when you're down that people that you really find out who is for you and who is not for you. And that is necessary to know. It's always good to know people's hearts and their intentions and who is for you and who is not for you. So take note of that. And so yes, so God is giving provision. He is cleansing, he is exposing, he's revealing, and this is bringing you so close to God, and the right people are taking notice, and the ones who are supposed to be drawn away, the ones who are supposed to be pruned from your life, or starting to put limits, starting to set those boundaries, God is showing you now, right now, because in the next season, he wants you to know who is for you and who is not for you. And this is very, very important. So just take note of all of that. And yes, oh, the bed, making of the bed, in connection with a previous dream I had at the time, I was trying to make a bed and I couldn't. I didn't even have all the things to make the bed, but I was trying to make it, and I couldn't. But now in this season, it's like everything is in place. Everything is ready for you to make this bed. Like the linens, the frame, the everything. So a lot of growth has happened from the last season where you were trying to make a bed to now. A lot has happened. There's been a lot of growth, and that has caught the attention of people. People are looking, people are watching you. And not in like a creepy way, but in watching you and your relationship with God and how you're handling situations. It's opening up a path, Jesus, to show others how to handle their hardships, how to handle their situations and whatever storms or challenges that they're facing, you know. So God is using you as a leader. God is using you as a light, so keep shining. Don't dim that light. And so that's it for this one. Yeah, that's it. Okay, guys. All right, thank you. I hope you guys have a blessed day, blessed rest of the week. Yeah, God bless you. Bye.